I want to talk about the strategy for the UK for 2029. And I've brought along this ball. I'm slightly concerned that people will think I'm about to talk about Phil Schofield on a desert island with his Wilson volleyball, which he's obviously called Matthew, but that's not the point. What you see right now is everybody competing for the number one slot, right? Everybody wants to compete to be Prime Minister of Great Britain. So you've got the four Conservative contenders, then you've got Nigel and Richard, both of whom want to be the number one guy in their field. Then you've got others, you've got UKIP, other parties, then you've got big players, big voices, Tommy Robinson and others, all competing like 9-year-olds on a football pitch. If you've ever watched a 9-year-old, 15-year-old's football match, what's happened is the ball goes round and all of the players chase the ball. Like they're all next to the ball. They all want to be near it so they can kick it, get their one viral moment, get the headline, get their picture, be the one that's heard the most. They're all chasing this. And that's why nothing's working. What needs to happen is there needs to be a unifying strategy, and not wishing to hark back to my old world of delivering mission command inside of FTSE 100 companies, but the clear mission that would unify this effort across all these different players, all of whom I respect in different ways, to take political power by 2029 in order to restore Britain. That one line would unify all the effort that's currently being expended in a competitive way, right? All the effort right now is being expended with people beating each other up, competing for space, competing for the headline, falling out with each other, friction everywhere. It's not necessary. Take political power by 2029 in order to restore Britain. And that is very easy to then allocate down as 3 very important missions. It's all the government needs. Number 1 is to restore freedom in order to restore Britain. So task number 1, restore freedom in order to restore Britain. Easily a task for Nigel Farage. Work out the different freedoms that need to be restored. Freedom of choice, freedom of decision making, freedom of where you go and when, freedom of where you drive and how, freedom of body autonomy, all of the different freedoms that have been eroded and taken from us that need to be restored. Restore freedom in order to restore Britain. It's a perfect mission for Nigel Farage and, for example, Reform. Okay, so that would be freedom. I want then restore family. So I need to have someone that you can put in charge of restore family in order to restore Britain. That can deal with all sorts of things. Maternity leave, the shape of the family, ensuring that a mum and dad are the first and most important family unit. I used to be a single mum, so before anyone takes offence because, the ideal family model, as has been proven, is a mum and dad. Restore family in order to restore Britain. And I would give that task to someone. I would potentially give that task to someone like a Kemi Badenoch, because she's straight talking. She understands what mums are worried about, and she understands that we cannot be beholden to a woke agenda. And where the woke agenda has infiltrated massively is being able to brainwash our children at an early age in school with stuff they don't need to be learning about. Children should be free to be children for as long as they can possibly be. So restore family in order to restore Britain. You're restoring freedom, you're restoring the family. And now we need to restore faith. So the third most important job of government in this sort of strategy-led approach is to restore faith. And don't imagine that has to be faith in a church. It doesn't have to be faith in something to do with religion. It has to be faith as in a sense of belonging. What this country has lost is a sense of belonging. People used to feel, or the Blitz spirit, or being British, or the flag, or look at this, our royal family, or the institutions, or we have pride because we have And I mean pride in the true sense. We have pride in our country because, or like me, you know, sign up to fight. You want to go to Sandhurst. You want to go into the British Army because I want to defend my country and the people in it. Right? Restore faith in order to restore Britain. If we have someone restoring faith in all manner of things that they can subtask out, you know, restore faith in each other, restore faith in the flag, restore faith in the military, restore faith in, it all breaks down after that. But someone that restores faith in order to restore Britain. And in this way, if you think about a cohesive strategy to take political power by 2029 in order to restore Britain, and then you divvy that out. Okay, Nigel, restore freedom in order to restore Britain. Kemi, restore family in order to restore Britain. Restore faith in order to restore Britain. If you have that, you allocate that out, everybody starts to work in a much more sophisticated way. And you can see that in terms of military units, for example. You know, you could have the infantry, Tommy Robinson, working the road, mobilising the people, lifting people up, keeping people engaged, keeping people informed in a manner that people understand, in a way that they feel like, yes, that speaks to me. Have Tommy head up the infantry, you know, the artillery, the big guns, Douglas Murray operating it in the Spectator and Fox News and in the mainstream because he has the ring of power, the signet ring of power. He's connected by the right schooling, the right boarding schools, the right accent, the right everything. He's the artillery, and those with big platforms that can still speak, boys that are allowed to speak where girls cannot still. He's the artillery. Then you need the organisers, the logistics company, the RLC, all the people who work inside of branches, the chairman of that, the chairwoman of that, the note taker, the RLC. There's a role for everybody if you organise at a strategic level, and that would reduce friction, reduce competition, and reduce this unnecessary bickering and infighting. And what also needs acknowledging finally is that there are imperfections in this everywhere. Every time there's a friction, it's an imperfection. So let's just take Ben Habib from Reform, thrown out, thrown under a bus, quite literally, by Nigel and Reform because they want the money of their Muslim donor. You're never going to get over that. You will always carry that as a sense of that was wrong. What was done to Ben was wrong. 100% it was. And there is no system or strategy that functions perfectly. Imperfections are part of this strategy. But if you were able to run this strategy to take political power by 2029 in order to restore Britain, and then 3 sub-tranches, restore faith, restore family, restore freedom, and you organise people according to their skills. Tommy, you take the infantry. Douglas, you take the artillery. Regional organisers, you're part of the RLC and you matter. And you think of all the different elements of the military that would then come into play if you see it that way. That's actually what I believe this country needs. And where do I fit in on all of that? I don't really mind. I just would really, really love it if we could make it happen and we could make it work, because the most important thing of all is to restore hope. And that's the thing that's fundamentally lacking right now.